change day, draft crafters.
What?
It's Dan, it's JP, and it's the day where they announce all the rule changes that they decided to pass from
Wasn't that like
what came in the competition committee or rule change week? I guess maybe it's not
I,
today,
s-
but
I swear to
might have been
you,
yesterday.
that already came through
The
like
meetings.
a week ago because I've read all of them.
Well, no. The actual voting I think was this week. Like they sent in the
So there's
ones
five
that they were
of
going
them,
to
right?
request. Yeah, well, there's only like 2 rule
And one's
changes,
only
and then
for a
bylaw changes.
Yeah, and one's a 1-year thing of where they can basically correct any call to get it right, and it's a trial thing for just this year, and they're blaming it on replacement refs, right?
That's their leverage with the ref. So that's the other thing too, dude.
I read this last week.
Well, right, and that's the thing is like some of that stuff was proposed
that was the
rule
weakest.
changes.
I gotta try it again for the show.
Yeah, one more time.
Maybe
was
that'll
better.
do.
I heard a little whoop with where it sort of like flopped back in the bottle there. Yeah, those were all the proposed rule changes, and then they finally voted on them and agreed to all of them, except for obviously the one where the Browns, of all teams, the Browns suggesting let's let people trade more draft picks further into the future.
They withdrew that one though, right?
They did withdraw it, and I think they withdrew it because one, it wasn't going to get the votes, but also because people are like, dude, Cleveland, do you really want to be the team that does that?
Yeah, that'd be terrible. You know how upset I would be as a Lions fan if they pulled some just nonsense and traded an insane amount of picks like for the next like half decade.
No, yeah, and again, the ability to trade.
Dude, the Rams would do that.
Oh yeah,
Les Snead wouldn't have a pick this century.
He'd be like, "What do I care? 5 years from now, I'll probably be fired anyways. Let's go."
Yeah, but that's why oof. If it's as soon as a coach gets on a hot seat or something, or GM's on a hot seat, it's like, all right, we're locking her in.
Well, and again, that's why you see the absurdity of the NBA, which is fun from an NBA standpoint because of the way that one player can change your franchise a lot easier in the NBA because only 5 guys are on the floor. But you see teams trading their picks like 7-8 years in the future, which for one team makes sense because the team they're trading their guy to is probably going to be worse in 7 or 8 years. And you're bad now. And so, yeah, it cracks me up. I mean, that's where you have a team like the Thunder stockpiled picks for years, and now they're winning NBA titles, which is great for them. But you could see, like, if anything, it's funny that the Browns pointed that out, as I mentioned, because they're the kind of team that would get taken advantage of by a smart team. I mean, that just seems like it's going to happen. You were confused there by the bourbon?
Yeah, it broke my tongue. This is really good. It's only the second pour I've ever had from this bottle.
See, I saw the bottle, so I got an idea what it is, but we'll talk about it a little later on. But yeah, suffice to say, rule changes happened, so you're going to have replacement refs unless something crazy happens, which sucks, but it is what it is, which means now Command Center can do more stuff, which we're trending that way anyway, so fair. And they also made changes to the onside kick rule, so now you no longer have to be trailing to do an onside kick, but you still have to declare that you're doing an onside kick, which I get because of the way that the onside kicks or the kickoff is set up now. You can't just do an onside kick without saying so, because then the kicker just kicks the ball 10 yards and takes it, right? So they have to figure something out, because if you're saying, I'm going to have an onside kick,
you're never getting it.
The team knows it's coming. No, it's not. You're not going to get it. I mean, it happens, I think, twice out of 200 or something like that these days. It's a very small percentage that gets in there. And they made some bylaw changes as well.
Is for something that's relatively insignificant to the sport, that was one of the most annoying rule changes. I'm like, why do I have to tell them?
Well, and again,
and why can I only do it in the 2-minute window or whatever? Right. Like, I should be able to do this anytime I want and tell nobody.
Well, the problem with telling nobody is then you have a situation where you have the onside kick, but the other team is 30 yards away. So you could kick it 10 yards to yourself as the kicker.
I don't have to tell anybody anytime I'm going for a Hail Mary.
True, but the defense is still allowed to be on the field in position. So I get that part of the rule. But this is where I go back to screw the onside kick, man. Screw the onside kick and go to like the 4th and 15 thing or whatever, 4th and 20, and give teams one play from the 35. If you complete it, or if you get the first down, then you get to keep the ball. I think that'd be way more fun than doing onside kicks. Unless you want to go XFL and have 2 guys run for the football. I'm fine with that.
I got to sit and think about that one. I don't know. But I was super distracted. I had a bird crash right into the window. That's why I was saying apparently I'm in front.
I'm hoping that came through on the podcast. I love when that kind of stuff happens. You just are in a like wooded wonderland out there.
I don't know, man.
It cracks me.
I don't know what's going on.
Peacocks across the street.
And chickens and pigs.
JP's Wonderland, man. It's not
That's
honest.
right.
It's just the place he lives
It's
in.
just,
That
yep.
being said, all of that discussion is for the off season, right? And by we mean the draft off season. So we'll get to some of that stuff, rule changes, et cetera, that we want to do in the summer. What we need to do now, we got through all of the positional rankings, right? But we blew through so many names.
And since then, even since when did we do the show? Not yesterday, the day prior.
2 days ago, yeah.
I've already adjusted more rankings.
Yeah, well, you mentioned that you already adjusted all the offensive line, not all of them, but several of the interior offensive line rankings.
Yeah, because I had mentioned, like, Billy Schruth was one of the guys I talked about when we did the episode. I said I hadn't gotten there, so he was like a disclaimer. Like, he wasn't listed as a UDFA or have a ranking. It was just like
he was incomplete.
To-do. Yeah. But he, I guess, since I said it, he moved up to 8 on that list. So,
which gives him what, like a day, like a fourth round,
fourth round grade. Yeah,
round,
I got my fourth round tier. I got like Trosh, Schruth, Morris, and Roberts all. Just
and I think
there.
that's where people have kind of been putting him is in that range. But again, he has one of the higher upsides, I think, of a lot of the guys that are coming out this year just because of the injury of the youth. But the dude is a captain as like a sophomore or something like that, so you can tell that there's some good pedigree there for him. Now he will not show up for the most part in the rest of this conversation today. Because he's good but not great. And today is about two things. It's about my guys and busts and then our little back and forth, heads up draft that we do. So this is
our final
one of your favorite.
This is fun.
Yeah, this is the favorite heads up. But this is one of your favorite shows that we do, though. Why don't you explain the my guys and busts thing for people so that we're all on track?
Well, first I'll explain why it's my favorite, because this is where you're putting your stamp, whether it be a good stamp or a bad stamp on a player.
A tramp stamp?
Yeah, well, that is the bad piece. But I guess so. That's why I like it, because you're really stating how you feel about this player, and the busts are my favorite part. Like the my guys, sure, that's fun, but everybody kind of knows the my guys. If they've listened to our show and how we talk about them, they know they can at least pick half my guys.
Right, exactly.
So. But the bust is fun because you're really going out there and saying some top guys. Okay, to explain it though, my guy, it is either has to be somebody you are on way ahead of the game,
right?
Or so they could be really, really highly ranked. It could be a top 10 pick, right? But it has to, like, you had to be on him very early in the process.
Yeah, like a year or two ago.
Ooh, he's my new my guy. So with saying that, just because it's a my guy doesn't mean it's the number one player at the position. It just means it's a guy that you've liked a lot from the beginning, and you're probably still relatively higher on than the consensus.
Sure.
That's all it really has to be a my guy.
Or everybody else caught up to you.
Now there is, or that too. And there is a little bit different this year, and I'll explain that after this, because we did actually standardize this. So
we forced it a little more this time.
Yeah.
That'll come back to bite us.
And then the bust. The only rule with a bust is you can't pick anybody who is projected to be like a day 3 pick, because that's crazy. So it's pretty much like the way I look at a bust is this. However many picks there are in the first 3 rounds, which varies because of the top picks. So I think it's like 107 people. Yeah. But if you look at it as a rule of thumb, it's got to be a top 100 player if you're going to be like, nope, not happening. The only way I've ever allowed it for myself, and I didn't do this year, so it's irrelevant, but for future years, would be like, let's say like a Billy Schruth. Okay, no, I like him. I just said that. But he's got a 4th round grade, right? We just said that. If I literally thought that he should be a UDFA, I would probably allow that. Sure, he might be if he's a high day 3 pick, but I'm just saying he's not even in my top 250. It's not happening. Then I might allow that, but that's going to be pretty rare. But so as far as the standard piece of this goes, what we did is you had to have one my guy and one bust at every single position.
Right.
Then just because you're going to feel strongly, you're going to have more than 1 or 2 occasionally at position, especially for me, for linebackers and safeties. What we did is 1 of each at each position. Then you get an additional 6-pack to use however you want. All 6 could be busts. All 6 could be my guys. Any combination. So that's what it is. So here we go. Let's just go one position at a time. You just want to start quarterback and then
We
rip
might
through
as
our
well start at
usual.
the top because that right there just kind of puts things in perspective for what this year feels like. So, you want to start with the bust or the guy?
I think. Let's do one position at a time. But
Right.
let's go with the my guy, then end with the bust because the bust
Okay.
is the hotter take, and people probably know the my guys. So let's
Sure. Well,
build the suspense.
remind people of your my guy for quarterback.
In once upon actually, going into the season this year, he was my QB1.
Sure.
He just was. So I mean, I have a third round grade on him as Drew Allar from Penn State.
Mhm.
I still really, really like him quite a bit. He's easily my number 3. Nobody else. Put it this way, he would have a better chance of going to QB2 than to QB4, and I think he's just
Harsh.
locked at 3. Let's be
Mhm.
honest. I'm just saying. That's
Mhm.
just how I feel. But yeah, Drew Allar is my guy. Who do you got?
Right. And again, look, Drew Allar, a lot of people had as like could have been QB2 last year, right? And then obviously had a bad year this year with everything that went on with Penn State. And it wasn't terrible, it just wasn't good. And that's kind of the thing you got to keep in perspective. My guy is someone who wasn't terrible, but also wasn't good. And while I will sit back and say there are no quarterbacks that feel like my guys when you look at how this year
Yeah,
went
I
versus
can
last
agree with
year
that.
went
Well,
versus
no,
everybody, because
I
there's
like
going to be.
Allar.
I like Allar too. Allar is technically one
Third
spot
round
above.
grade though.
Yeah.
So,
But he's one spot above the guy that I've got at 4, who is my guy, and that's Cade Klubnik. Can't quit the Klub, man. And it's just this is a guy who last season we talked about this. We've used him as the poster child for
flip
if
the
you
years.
flipped. Yeah, if you flipped 24 and 25, he'd be pushing Mendoza. I mean, Mendoza would probably still be the guy because he's on the national champion winner, etc.
Yeah,
But
he would
be
probably
pushing
be
Mendoza.
He'd be definitely pushing Simpson.
Oh yeah, he'd probably be 2. No offense to Ty, especially with the way Ty's season ended, right? But that's the thing. We don't live in a world where last year matters. We live in a world where this year matters. And we take the whole, thing
What
into
have you done
into
for
it.
me lately?
Exactly. And what he did
Recency
was
bias.
play okay, right? He played at about the same level he did as a sophomore, as a senior, which wouldn't be a huge problem if he hadn't had such a baller junior season, right? And all of Clemson imploded last year anyway, so that's where you kind of keep things in perspective. He is not that big, right? He's decently athletic. He's not huge as far as like his hand size is okay, right? But the kid seems like he processes through things and has that it factor to extend plays and make stuff happen. That being said, third round grade on him as well. And he is any of these players that get thrust into a starting role to start the season. Obviously, Fernando Mendoza might not even be with the news of them picking up Kirk Cousins on another bonkers deal because Kirk Cousins always signs hilarious contracts that don't end up necessarily being what they are, but it's still funny in its own right. But yeah, that's the Klubnik is in that spot, which by the way, a little aside, I don't know if you noticed, but Kirk Cousins, even with just the 20 mil that he's going to make
More than Brady.
more than Tom Brady.
Yep.
So at least he's got that on Brady. He doesn't have anything else on Tom, but
You
he's
gotta
just
have
got
something.
that on Tom. Right? Okay, bust. And this is one of the
All right,
times
Dan.
I'm gonna do a little spoiler alert.
Hold on, no,
You
no, no,
share
wait,
the
wait.
bust.
Oh, you ruined it.
Oh, what were you gonna say? How are you gonna set that up otherwise?
I was gonna say, Dan, let's try to do this at the same time and count it down. And go
Okay,
1,
well
2,
go for it.
3.
You still do that.
All right, 1, 2, 3. Nothing.
Nussy. Yeah. Sorry, Garrett. I realize that I'm talking
man.
on both sides of my mouth when I talk about Ty Simpson being a coach's son, and I like that about him. You know what? You're a coach's son too, but the one thing you didn't learn from a coach was when to reel it in. The man has zero situational awareness, and he is the Russell Westbrook of quarterbacks in the sense of great distributor, absolutely no concept of the moment, and will heat check himself into an interception. Like Russ shoots threes when he has no business shooting threes. And Nuss throws balls that he has no business throwing. He does not have the arm to do that, but he thinks he does, and I applaud the effort. I just don't want that on my team.
Dude, in addition to that, all I really have to say is I can hear everybody who's a Nussy. That's Garrett Nussmeyer. Sorry.
Yeah,
Why do
right.
we just call him Nussy?
We do. It's like he's the Loch Ness monster.
Yeah. Anybody, I can hear everybody who's a Nussy fan and supporter, and you're out there going, he was playing through some injuries, and he still, flashed at times.
With
and
respect.
67% is all I bet. Yeah, I give him respect for playing through injuries. I give a little bit of grace on the performance because he was doing that. But guess what? I've still seen healthy games from Nussy, and I still just don't see it. Like, I see a guy who could maybe be developed into a super like low end, like if there's only
Spot starter.
32 starting quarterbacks. His ceiling to me would be like quarterback 30 in the NFL. I could see that where he could start potentially for a team someday. But it's not going to do you any favors. That's not just go a different direction. I don't see it.
Well,
Could be wrong. Could be wrong.
I have zero problem with him being a decade backup in the NFL that starts a handful of games.
No, that's perfect. That's what I see him as.
Right.
Especially being the coach's kid, someone who understands the game.
Sure, he'd probably be a great locker room guy.
Yeah, he could be like the next Dan Orlovsky.
Whoops. Don't step out of the back of the end zone, though, Garrett. All right? A little heads up for you there, buddy. And we're Lions fans saying that. But that's the thing. Like, so when it's just, he's the irrational confidence quarterback, which doesn't work if you don't have a Matthew Stafford-like howitzer on your shoulder, right? And so he just doesn't quite get there. So we could be wrong. It'll be hilarious if we are. We'll let you know in a few years. We'll go from there. But let's move on to running backs. Sorry, Garrett. I'm sure other people like you. Just listen to their take instead. Who's your guy? Right, so I know nobody's going to reach Ashton Jeanty level.
Never. This is the only one that I am undecided on, and you're going to have to help me decide for my guy at running back. Which one is more my guy? Okay. And I'm going to go with it. Obviously, I like them both. They're my running backs 2 and 3. I've got them tied. Actually, they're running back. I literally have 2A and 2B. I can't figure out which one I like better, but anyways, here we go. So option 1 is Jonah Coleman, the guy that I was super high on, that I was saying
the bowling ball
could actually potentially contend with Jeremiah Love before the season started. Sure. I really liked him. This season was not great. Okay, True. Fully get it. But I still have him as a top 3 running back in this class, right? Then option 2 is Mike Washington Jr., who I was definitely on this year before Mo, like at least he was being talked about, right?
Sure.
But Coleman I was on last year.
At least last year, yeah.
So I got 2 years of being on Coleman. I've got Washington just this year. Either way, I think both qualify. And I have them both like tied. So I don't know. Who do you think fits better as my guy?
If you're saying my guy, I think it has to be Jonah Coleman because he is number 1 in your heart, even if he's not necessarily a guy you think is the best prospect. And that's the same thing that goes for me when it comes to my guy. Because Adam Randall, now mind you, I will say this. Obviously, I've only been on him this year because he just started being a running back this year, right? So, but I was on him at the beginning of the year. That's what I'm going to say. And he is a wide receiver converted, right? But he is 6'3", almost 6'3" and a half, 232, runs a 4.5. Has the 37-inch vert, which for a guy of his size, he is going to be a chess piece at the next level. He is a supersized player at that position that can move all over the place and has shown some chops running the football. I believe he's going to be a 4th-round draft pick, and you better believe that unless it's a Packer, I will be trying to draft him come draft day in our fantasy in our dynasty league. Okay, so try not to don't tell everybody else about this clip, please, because that'll be rough for me.
Tell him what.
Exactly. Love Adam Randall. Love everything about him. He's my favorite. I've realized I've done 2 Clemson players in a row. Don't ask me how that happened, but it's probably the last time I talk about that.
You did.
Who's your bust?
I promise. Well, full disclosure, Dan and I did talk about this, our picks for these ahead of time because we're trying to come up with a standard for it for every year. So beyond this year, we probably won't collaborate a ton. I think we always have to a little bit just to figure out if it actually truly is a my guy, kind of how I just did with running back. But anyways, this one we have the same. Should we just counter down again?
Let's do it.
1, 2, 3. Emmett Johnson.
Emmett. What happened, Emmett?
Man. I have him as RB6. I have a 4th-round grade on him. So it's not like I just don't like him. I mean, he's a 6th running back in the class, but people...
I got him at 9.
I mean, I see him going as like RB 2/3 in this class.
I texted
people
you
really
that.
like him.
Bleacher Report just did a thing yesterday talking about like steals, and he was on the steal list.
Not a steal, absolutely not.
Look, let's put it this way: in my opinion, I'd say there's no steals. Obviously, I think Adam Randall will be a steal where he gets picked, but no running backs are getting picked all that early in this. And if you're telling me that Emmett, is a guy that some people have in the 80s, right, when it comes to the position, I think that's roughly where I've been seeing him. First off, it's hard to be a steal in the 80s unless you're getting picked in the 120s. 110s anyways. So no, I'm sorry. I don't see how this guy could be a steal.
The only reason, I'll say just a little bit about each player for the sake of time. I mean,
And I want to point out,
we're already 20 minutes in.
We don't dislike him as a running back.
No,
we just don't like him
not.
the way other people like him.
That's basically what it is. And the only negative thing I can say about him, because all of everything of his size, his length, his measurements, his testing numbers, his stats,
Speed
everything all of it is good, not great.
Right.
Okay. All of it is. But the reason if you go back to when we did our running back episodes, it just feels like a lot of his stat productions were on like some home run, like plays where he just ran through an 8-foot hole and just housed it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so if you take those out, I wonder what his numbers look like. Is that fair? I don't know, because he still, you know what I mean? It's still, he still did that. He had to hit the hole. It's a huge one, but I don't know.
To remind people,
I still like him. Just not
his elusive rating, 88.3. Ashton Jeanty's is like 215.
If not higher.
And what that shows you is he's not getting contacted as quickly, right? And that's what you mean, the huge hole. So it's not his fault that he's had big holes to run through, right? But also,
the yards after contact are not good.
No, I will give him this. I will give him credit for the 46 catches that he had. That's a solid number for a running back. So there's some hope there for him. But overall, he's a guy that I'd take in the 4th round, and people are going to take him in the 2nd round maybe, or the top of the 3rd. And that's just too rich for me personally. And again, we talk about this. You can't say, oh, that's too soon for this player if you know he's not coming back by the next time you pick. But I almost guarantee you Emmett Johnson will get picked a full round before I think he should be picked. Now, mind you, I'm not a GM, so there you go.
I think he will before I would take him as well.
All right,
on to wide receivers.
Okay.
All right, this will be a quick one for me. Everybody knows who my guy is. I don't care if he's a little bit older, but dude, I absolutely love Skylar Bell in this class.
Sure.
I just do. Like he's been he's been in my top 6 the whole year. He finally settled in at 5. I love the guy. The production's off the charts. I know he's at Connecticut, but I was kind of waiting to see if when he gets to the combine, if his the body shaming would be decent body size for an NFL career,
right.
If the testing numbers were, and he blew all that out of the water.
I thought he was going to be smaller. I really did from the way he played.
Yeah, he's not huge. I mean, if you round up a little, he's basically 6 foot 192. But that's fine. Mm-hmm. That's fine.
10-inch hands, man.
10-inch hands, which that's what I look for.
That's your thing, dude. Seriously,
4'4".
There's different metrics. Everyone's like 34 inches for a tackle's arms, but for you, a pass catcher, if they have 10-inch mitts, that's automatically going to move them up the list,
dude. And Andy's got that 41-inch vert, and here's the craziest stat of all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I understand it's only a little bit faster, but because he ran a 4.4, but look at like Chris Brazel. Right. Everybody was talking about how he ran the 4.37, and you knew he's gonna be fast because he's tall and he looks fast because he's 6'4". But a 5'11" and change, and Skylar Bell, it's only a little slower than the 40, but look at the 10-yard split.
Right, he's right there with him. He actually hit a higher top speed technically.
Yeah,
barely.
That's what I'm saying. So Skylar Bell is just, and I like everything about
Chris
him.
Brazel didn't jump, but I doubt he jumped more than 37, right? Which would mean those two can basically get to the same height, roughly.
Well, I mean, Skylar Bell jumped 41.
That's my point. So like the 4 or 5 inch difference between the two of them would be mitigated by their jumping ability. So
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I would much rather, and I have Skylar Bell a few spots ahead. I got Bell at 7 and Brazel at 10. So yeah, obviously I like him better too. So no complaints there.
Who you got for your guy? I know who your guy is.
I like Elijah Surratt more.
Yeah, everybody knows coming.
Look, dude. This is a little heads up. I have 2 other my guys when we get to the 6-pack later on. They're wide receivers, and I'm annoyed.
Oh, we're saving the 6-pack. Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm saving the 6-pack for the end. Yeah, I'm annoyed because you talked about how good this wide receiver class was, and I thought that was rubbish. And then I started watching these guys. I'm like, dang it. This is actually not an elite class, right? This isn't the same class.
There's no
Right.
blue chip wide receiver. I
This
don't
isn't
care what anybody
Romadunze and
says.
guys like that.
There's 0 blue chip wide receivers, but oh my gosh, there's like
So many
15 just really good ones.
So many good 2s and 3s. Any team that needs a 2 and a 3, this is the draft for it. And Elijah Surratt is one of those players for me. And again, he can't. I don't think he jumped probably as high. Maybe he actually didn't jump. But he's got the 10-inch mitts too, man. 6'2 and a half, 210. I don't go over the numbers. Point is, he was there every time Indiana needed him, except against Penn State when he was out. But when he was in the game, he was there when they needed him, right? And he had production. He's not too old, all things considered. He's got the size you want at 6'2 and a half. So across the board, incredibly solid player who does everything well. And we've talked about this, not necessarily anything super elite. Don't care. As long as you don't expect him to be a 1 on your team, I will take a number 2 that does everything well, because that's really what you want in that situation. And so him being a guy that I think is going to go in the second round. I think I've got a 3rd round grade on him, second, 3rd round grade on him. I think he's going to go in the second
round grade on.
I have him at 5. He could go 10 because of the way his wide receiver class is set up. But if he goes any later than, if he goes 3rd round, I will tell you that's one of the things that I think will be a huge steal, if you will, in the way this draft shakes out. Love Elijah Surratt, love everything about him, even if he's not elite at certain areas. Tight end. We had trouble with tight end.
No. We got to do bust.
Oh, bust. Sorry, just kidding. I was so excited about Elijah.
Yeah, bust. This can be a quick one because I think he's, if you guarantee me health, he's the best wide receiver in this class. He is the best wide receiver in this class. But I have 0 faith. You can call it cheating if you want. I don't care. To me, it's not cheating. Mm-hmm. Saying that the guy that I think is the most talented in this is, my bust. It's kind of like, like you're covering your own ass, if you will. But I guess what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to highlight the reason I'm saying a bust is I know for a fact he is going to get drafted way earlier than I'd feel comfortable taking him based off from all 3 of those injuries. And the main one is I know the collarbone was just a fracture. I know that it was just a hamstring that he aggravated, but still kind of terrified. That knee, it wasn't just an ACL. He blew out 3 ligaments in that thing. It was ACL, PCL, LCL. They're all gone.
And you know something about that.
I do. I did the same damn thing. So I don't know. It just is what it is. I mean, I don't have a ton of faith in him being able to stay healthy.
Sure, and that brings up a good debate. Is Jordan Tyson a bust because of the injuries, or is he, do we put him in the injury category? And that's where
I think the only reason he qualifies as a bust is because of where he's going to go. Like, I truly think after people are kind of cooling off on Mekhi Lemon, the first 2 wide receivers that are going to go are going to be Tate and Tyson, which means they could both be
go top 10.
Top 10.
Right.
Guaranteed. I guarantee you, one of the last mocks we did, I see a lot of people are doing it now where we had him going to the Rams because they can take that shot. And now with all the stuff with Puka, even makes even more sense.
Well, and I don't know that he even makes
it to the Rams now.
Well, right.
Yeah, Lemon might.
Right.
But
yeah,
I don't know
that's
that
where it
Tyson
gets
will
fun
now.
Yeah. And again, like I said, you and I, for the complete and total schadenfreude of what this would be, want him to go to the Saints. Just because it'd be hilarious to see them have 2 injury-prone wide receivers who could have 5 amazing games a season, right? But that's a whole other story. But that's where it gets fun. So we have because we've done this before, like busts and then wastes, right? I feel like there's another category, and I don't think Tyson fits this one, but misses. Misses count for I think the guys who are the 4th rounders, right? The ones who were kind of in that tweener category. They're not really busts because they're 4th rounders, but you just whiff on a guy because you didn't set him up for success or because he didn't take care of himself. So that's a whole nother conversation for the offseason.
Yeah, miss would be like the whole day 3. Like if it didn't hit, that's a miss, not a bust.
Yeah, right? Yeah, no. But again, sometimes it's a dart throw and you're not worried about it. Other times you're actually excited about a guy. So everyone is excited about my bust at wide receiver, man. People are losing their minds about Casey Concepcion being a spectacular wide receiver.
Mine too.
Look, I don't think if you want, I am hedging slightly. If you want to say he's going to be a Devin Hester level return man, I would consider that. That's obviously a high bar, but still, I would consider that if you just want to have him be a return guy. But people are saying he's going to be a wide receiver as well. How many drops did he have? Wasn't he double-digit drop percentage?
Double-digit. I can look it up for you. Right. I got it right here.
So that's my point.
Saying whatever it is you want to say, and I'll look.
That's all I got to say. he's 5'11" and 5'8", so he's right at the same size as Skylar Bell actually, but still, like it's
10.3% drop percentage.
Right, super fast, can't hang on to the football. Can I give you the ball if I don't trust you to hang on to it?
Put it this way: from the 33 wide receivers that I ranked based on our little game, there are only 2 wide receivers that even have double-digit drop percentages. It's him and Caleb Douglas.
I'm really glad that you didn't say Elijah Surratt there. That would have been awkward for me.
It seems like you brought it up. Elijah Surratt's drop percentage is 4.7.
All right, that's fine. I'm okay with that. Obviously, you want to
Skylar
be
Bell's
0.
3.8. Ha!
There you go. Good work. All right, but yeah, that's my point. Concepcion, and again, why is he a bust? He's not a bust because I think he's going to be a terrible player. He is. People are putting him in the first round. He is 15 on my list. He's a third rounder at best for me.
He was 14 on mine. So
there you go. Yeah, we're in the same ballpark. Yeah, that works out. All right, tight ends.
Tight end. Really, this will be a super quick one for me because I'll be completely honest. I don't have a my guy or a bust. I don't. But then once we made the parameters for this game that we're going to do moving forward, so I'm going to have to make sure that I start doing it. So long story short, the my guy, I just went for one of the guys that I seem to have been early in the year, like all of a sudden, like I'm really interested in this guy. That's Sam Roush. I just like the fact that the guy's huge and was mildly productive. Absolutely love it. He's my tight end 4 with a 4th round grade. And then the bust. Here's the crazy thing. I'm just going to get it out of the way. I know we're going my guys, then bust together, but just want to explain the bust. If it has to be someone taken in the top 100,
there's only 3.
And that might even not be true come the draft. So it's either Sadiq, Claire, or Stowers. And
we both,
it's not going to be Sadiq based on his workout. Really.
Well, we both don't necessarily think Sadiq should go as high as he's going to go.
I'm lower.
But we don't think he's going to be a bust at all.
Yeah,
he's going to be a solid player.
And I almost put Max Clare above Sadiq. So really, I only had one option, Stowers. And it's not that I don't like him. It's just that his production wasn't like super high, and I don't know. Maybe he's just a workout warrior. Maybe it's just the fact that he's 239. That freaks me out. That's probably why he did it. He's super light for. But anyways, you go. Do both.
Funny you mentioned that. We only had 3 choices. Neither of us were taking Kenyon Sadiq. So guess who I took?
You took
Max Clare.
Because of baby hands.
That's the only reason. I like Max Clare. I don't have a problem with him as a player. I liked him at Purdue. I don't blame him for moving to Ohio State. I don't think it was the right choice for him from a preparing yourself for the NFL standpoint because he was going to get buried, whereas he would have had another 80 plus, 100 plus targets at Purdue. But he's got everything you want from a tight end standpoint except for the hands. That being said, I had 3 choices. Not Max Clare, obviously. Or Eli Stowers. I like Stowers too. I like Stowers more than Clare. That's why I had to make Clare my bust, which is going to blow up my face, I'm sure, when he ends up like being the best tight end in the game or something. My guy is someone that I have mentioned off and on throughout the season. It's Daquan Wright. He's
oh my gosh, he's not even in my top 14.
It's because you're just rude to people. Daquan Wright.
He's 19.
Well, and you're going to be wrong on that. And here's why. He is not going to be
right.
Very good. I wasn't even going there with that. He is not going to be a day one starter, right? He is not going to be a inline blocking tight end all the time. But what he did at Ole Miss, and mind you, it's Ole Miss, I understand that, but still, in the SEC, he was able to rip 20-yard gains like it was his job. And so if you have a seam ripping tight end, like again, I don't care if you're gonna, because again, he's my guy because he's a 4th round draft pick, right? At best. And so if you give me a 4th rounder that can go out and catch 20 or 30 passes, and half of those are going to be 20 plus yards, I'm happy with that. And that's where I feel like he fits. He's going to fit as a seam ripper that's going to do something rude throughout the course of how he's doing things here. All right, tackles.
Oh, dude.
This was
I got
tough.
a feeling. I can't remember. I think we probably did the same bust, but we'll save that. I like going my guys first. My guy. I actually, you know what? It was very tough. This is hilarious. I don't want to talk too long. He was super duper tough, and then all of a sudden it was a 2-horse race. Like, it's like, ooh, I don't know who it's going to be. I don't have anybody, and then all of a sudden I had 2. And I almost could have said 3. For some reason, I still haven't fully given up on Austin Barber, but I have a 6th round grade on him. And that's where I feel. But no, I went with Emil Wagner from Notre Dame. The super runner-up, so I put him back-to-back, was Diego Pounds. But it's Emil Wagner.
Is he on your extra set or not? Is he like your 7th?
No, because I didn't feel that good about it. My
Okay,
my
gotcha.
6-pack of extra, I feel really strongly one way or the other about those 6.
Sure.
If we went to 7-packs, maybe. But yeah, Emil Wagner was my guy.
Mm-hmm.
Who you got?
Okay, so my guy, when it comes to the and again, we don't feel amazing about any of the
I have a 4th
tackles,
round grade
right?
on him, so take that
Right.
for what you will.
Right, and that's my point. So we don't feel necessarily amazing about any of the tackles that are coming out this year. We've mentioned that the guys who we really like aren't tackles, right? So my guy for tackles is rated 379 by PFF. He's rated
Oh,
302.
he's my 20. I know who it is. He's my 23rd out of 25 tackles.
He's rated 302 by Mock Draft Database. He's not even on Tankathon's list. I will freely admit I did not latch onto him until the combine. So I'm allowing this to be
stretch of my guy
only because of how far down the list he is for everyone.
I don't understand this
Cruz
one.
Jr.
This one's going to come back to bite you.
Did you watch his combine?
Sure did.
Did
you watch
see
his tape?
the way the man moves?
Did you watch his tape?
Yes. This man moves.
With how many beers did you have when you watched the tape?
I have no idea. But at 6'5", 313, he moves so well for a guy of that size. Someone
Doesn't
will
show up
find
on
that.
tape.
Well, I don't care. I believe that someone is going to. Again, he is a project.
I didn't
okay?
like his tape a lot, but I'm just giving you a tough time.
I know.
It's not
right.
Like
he's
awful,
going to be a
but
3rd
I'm
round.
just not.
He's a day 3 guy. Right. He's a day 3 guy, but he's in the UDFA category for a lot of people. If I
He
knew
almost was.
an NFL GM, if I knew an NFL GM, which I don't, so don't worry, no one's going to get spammed. I would be texting him every day, being like, "Take Cruz in the 7th. Take Cruz in the 7th."
Yeah, I'll take him in the 7th. That's where I have a 7th row grade.
But that's
on
my
him,
point.
100%.
It's like I would take him before that if I was actually trying to figure this stuff out. I think I have him at 11. Okay, I realize that might be insane.
He can be my guy. That's insane.
Exactly. I also want to point out that I don't.
So
feel
you have
great
him
about
just
the
behind
class.
on my list. He would fall right behind Wagner and Pounds. That's wild.
He is
'cause I feel
just ahead
so
of
much
Pounds.
better.
He is halfway
What?
between Pounds and Wagner for me.
Let's do a bet. Pounds versus Cruz.
Oh, good lord, no, because I like Pounds. I don't want to do that.
Bark, bark. All right.
I'll give you
Bust.
Drew Shelton. Do you want to do that?
Shelton.
Shelton versus.
Well, I mean,
Cruz?
I have a 5th round grade on him, but I don't.
I'll
feel
do
good.
Shelton versus Cruz, but I like Pounds and I like Wagner. So I'm
I'd
not gonna
rather
do that
let's
bad.
do Austin Barber versus Cruz.
Oh, both of the
And
the
I actually
Florida
have
guy and
Barber.
the Kansas guy.
I actually have
Okay.
Barber behind Shelton, but I would rather
Cool.
do that bet for
Well,
some
look,
weird
we
reason.
needed a bet for tackle, so Barber and Cruz it is.
All right,
And we might just have to buy each other a beer when neither of them pan out. We'll see what happens.
that's fair.
All right,
Bust.
guards.
We got to do bust.
Oh,
Caden
sorry.
Proctor.
We got to say Caden Proctor, right? We under 1, 2, 3 that. Look, he could be amazing. He could also be nothing.
Dude, it's just the reports of him allegedly at some points being around 400, his tape not being great. He gets beat to the outside. He gets beat to the inside a lot. Like he has flashes of brilliance, but he just has so much tape where it's like, oh gosh, that did not go well.
He absolutely has to go to a team that can develop him and not start him day one. And unfortunately, he's going to go to a team that wants him to start day one. And unless he goes to a team with an amazing infrastructure and great offensive line coaching, he's going to get eaten up by the system. And it's going to be sad. Dude is too athletic to not start, but too inept with his technique to start. He's such a weird anomaly, dude.
It's
sad.
tough. All right, now
guards.
we can go to guards.
Okay.
All right,
Who's your my guy this time around?
My guy, oh, geez. Talk about getting time back. Bo Stevens. Go listen to almost any episode we've done this whole year. I don't need to talk. Everybody knew it was going to be Bo Stevens. All right, you're my guy.
Okay, so I have a debate in my head because there's one guy I could choose that you're not even sure is going to be a guard, and another guy that I could choose that another guy I liked at the combine. I don't feel good about any of the guards from a my guy standpoint. So on one hand, there's Jenny Dunker, right? Who from mullet alone should be someone
who was originally my guy,
right? But he's a guard, not a tackle, right? And a lot of people's minds. But you still have
well,
him
I
as
have
tackle
him at tackle still
because I think he deserves a shot at tackle. The other one is
deserves a shot,
DJ.
but he's gonna end up inside.
The other one's DJ Campbell because I have him at 11. I think a lot of people have him lower, like on my list, and a lot of people.
I
have
have
him
a
lower than that.
UDFA on him.
Right, that's my point. So you know what? I'm going to keep the run going on offensive linemen. We'll say DJ Campbell, another guy who, admittedly, latched on at the combine. So I'm getting drawn in by the workout warriors at offensive line because I don't
I'll,
feel great about most of this offensive line class. Like most of
I'll
the
bet
guys
you
that
I'll bet you Micah Morris versus DJ Campbell.
I still haven't watched Micah. I made that mistake. I should have watched him before this show. And I don't want to make that bet because I feel like I don't. We need to do a guard bet, though. We're going to do a bet at every position, right? No, I'm saving that. I will somebody else against Micah. DJ Campbell's my guy. Somebody else against Micah. Wait, no. DJ Campbell's not my guy. I completely flipped this around. Dude, you know who my guy is. I'm just going to tell people. It's your bust. It's Brian Parker II.
Yeah, you had me broken. My bust is Brian Parker II.
I'm all over the place. Brian Parker II is a good offensive lineman, and you hate him.
I have a 5th-round grade on him. I don't hate him. He's a project, and that's about it.
You're a project. Brian Parker Jr. is a saint.
Fine. Micah Morris versus Brian Parker.
That's a handshake bet. We'll do that one.
All right.
He's the second.
Micah Morris, Brian Parker.
Sounds good.
Fight. All right. So who is your bust?
That's the problem, dude. It's so hard to find a bust. I think my bust is the guy you almost had as a bust, only because there's no one I can use as a bust. I like Vega. I like Dunker. I like
Tiernan?
Stevens. I like
Pregnan.
I don't even mind Rutledge. That's my problem. There's no.
I want to make this clear.
I
actually have Brian Parker II above Caleb Tiernan. The only reason I chose Brian Parker, because they're 12 and 13
to mess with
respectively, is to mess with Dan. To be honest with you,
jerk.
I actually would take Parker over Tiernan, but still,
you don't take either of them.
They actually were my two debating which one was going to be a bust, and then I knew Brian Parker was going to be my guy, so it's like boom, done.
Yeah, jerk. I guess I'll use Tiernan. No disrespect to him at all. In fact, I don't think he will be a bust. The only thing I say is I don't like guards that are 6'8" almost. What's too tall for a guard? T-Rex arms. Such a weird body shot. This is another hard one, dude.
Center's easy. No, let's get the guy done. We have the same damn my guy. It's Logan Jones.
No, we have different my guys. We have the same bust. I was going to give you Logan Jones. I want you
I was on
to talk about
I was on him earlier, but the problem is dude, I watched your eyes light up at the combine too. Like, he looked like the best center.
Love it. Love everything about him. But you've got him as your my guy, and that was when you were on towards the beginning of the season. I will not disrespect your my guy.
I took him at every single mock for every single team. I
know. That's why. But my guy is Pat Coogan. And again, we're talking about this being guys who are picked
number 3.
Right, and he's going to be a 4th-round draft pick most likely, but he is a smart dude. Notre Dame and Indiana. Played in the national championship game last year, won a national championship this year. Locked down. Solid. No doubts about him. Bust was hard to pick just because nobody really feels like a bust in this group because there aren't that many high-end centers anyways, but I think we kind of settled on the same guy.
Is it Connor Lew?
Yeah. And it's only because of the injury.
He's only 20. Yeah, it's only because of the injury and the fact that prior to the injury, he did not get off to a great start this year at all.
No, it was a rough year.
The only reason that let me just explain this one because this is very important to me because his tape previous to the injury, I guess previous
he was one of your favorites coming in.
Was one of my favorites. I was like, dude, as a 19-year-old kid, he was playing lights out. Right. The only reason I think that, and you could call this the next biggest cheat from me, like a Tyson, right?
Mm-hmm.
The only reason I think he'll be a bust is because at 20 years old, coming off an injury and got off to a rough start. Why didn't he just go back?
Right. That is interesting.
Like, if he would have went back for another year and came out as a 21-year-old kid, I'd be like, dude, he could. I just think that is the NFL going to be too much for a 20-year-old center coming off from an injury and struggled a little.
The only thing I can come up with,
and again, ruin him. Right. I like him a lot, but I just think he made a bad decision and it could backfire. That's why
we don't have, obviously we haven't talked to him. We don't know why he made the choice he made. The only thing I can come up with is maybe he wasn't a huge fan of the new coach coming in. And maybe he didn't think he jived with the system and decided to bail. Not sure. That's all. But again, he could have gone into the portal and found somewhere where he did fit. Everybody makes a choice that they think is right for them. Fair. All right. Before we jump on the defense, what are you drinking that you had that little pop-pop sound?
Oh, I am drinking a little bit. It's a store pick. So, and you know what? It just occurred to me right at this very second. I don't know that I've ever seen a single bottle of this in a store anywhere where it's not a store pick.
Okay.
Every single I'm gonna have to look this up. It might be reserved for store picks for all I know, but
Which
it's
is kind of a fun flex.
It's Old Forester's standard single barrel. It's the single barrel proofs, the blue
Right.
label. This is the black label.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's what it is. This is their standard single barrel, 100 proof. But dude, this thing.
Let's give
I'm gonna give
credit
you my
who hooked
taste.
you up for that one. Well, who'd you pay for it? Let's be honest, they didn't give you a free bottle.
Oh, this just came from the place right by my work, the Big Ten party store.
Okay.
They got a whole bunch of them.
We want to
chilling
give
there.
them
They
both
got, like,
credit
another 50 of them.
and shame if they get it wrong. Hey, I got
You
balloons.
got balloons.
No idea how that happened. Love it.
What the heck? He says
Freaking
shame
Zoom.
and balloons pop up. Okay, Dan, so I'm going to hit you with the tasting notes on this thing.
Okay.
And you tell me if there's like a dessert or a dish or something out there. Up front, there was a lot of like a dark black cherry, which is strange because I got that on
Love
the
it.
last bottle too, and I'm drawing a blank on what I was even sipping last time. Oh, it's the 1792.
Right, it's Old Forester though.
This is,
No,
yeah, but I'm saying
this
the last
that was
show.
right, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying I got
The
a
funky
dark,
bottle.
like dark cherry, yeah, on the guitar pick bottle too. So same cherry note, but
Interesting.
this has got like a cherry note with chocolate and almost maybe like a dark like cocoa chocolate where it's a little more
Okay.
bitter, but I almost went back on that because there is some sweet in here. So here's what I'm thinking. Dark cherry, brown sugar, like dark specialty like cocoa chocolate, but also maybe like a little bit of like baking spice in here. What is that? What am I describing?
mean,
and oak.
you're pretty
and oak,
close.
obviously, there's always oak.
Right, you're pretty close to a Black Forest cake if I'm going that route.
Okay.
Maybe not
there
quite
you
as
go.
much in the spice, and you don't need desserts,
All
so
right.
that's why. But I
Nope,
feel
that's
like
why I'm
Black
asking you.
Forest. I looked it up just to make sure, but I feel like Black Forest cake is the closest you can come to with that.
There you
Within
go.
a bourbon, which let's
Wonder-
be honest,
They didn't
Now
put
I
a
wanna
name
make-
or tasting notes on this
Dude,
thing.
now I want to make a Black Forest cake, but with like a Old Forester
With this in
glaze.
it. Yeah.
Right, the glaze over the top, like instead of just frosting, and then over top of that a thin glaze of Old
Great bottle.
Forester.
This is a really good bottle.
Nice. And again, Old Forester, like Jake, my buddy that lives down in the Portage around Kalamazoo area that gives us the Waxwing hookup in Tennessee right now, and he stopped off Buffalo Trace. He stopped off at Old Forester and did like a single barrel taster of the black label, a blue label, and then a rye. So like Old Forester's got some good stuff. That being said, it's funny that I mention him because look what I'm drinking. That's right.
Ah, finally.
A little bit of India Pale Ale from Waxwings, pulled into Nazareth.
Love
you can
that
see the tag. It's a $6 beer, right? This is not cheap beer, but this is really
I'm not
good.
sad
beer,
about
right?
that one. It's good.
I kept coming back to it and wanting another sip, right? I drank the whole thing in the first half of this show, right? Because it's easy. It's crushable. And for a beer that is sitting at 7.2%, it does not feel like a beer that's sitting above 5, right?
Nope.
Because it's got, but again, I want to point out,
It's
it says it's an IPA. It feels
Hazy.
like a hazy. It's definitely hazy. And do you know why I drank it in the first half of the show?
Because you got to do double Nazareth.
Because
Or
we
how-
got
what
to
are
do the double up. I
they-
got
then
the double Nazareth.
Is there like two N's on there?
Yeah, because that's what they
Nazareth.
do. Because the Nazareth, and they've got the 4N one at some points too, and that's a Waxwing thing. So I'll give you my take on the double Nazareth at the end of the show. But why don't we jump
I'm
into
gonna
the
have to-
defensive side of the
I'm
ball?
going to have another pour of bourbon then. I'm going to have
you
myself
do that.
a little
Go,
head
dude.
to header.
Grab. Look, no, right. Grab. Unless you have one in mind. Go like 5 over from your shoulder right now. I have no idea what that is. I'm just having fun with it.
From this shoulder?
From that shoulder, whichever shelf you want to take, 5 over from your shoulder. I have no idea what that's going to be.
5 over. 1, 2.
Yeah, this is what we're looking at. This is why.
Oh.
Oh, what did I give you? Did I give you something good?
I might have to go get a fresh glass. I've never opened that bottle.
Oh, well, you don't have to do that for the show, man. That's okay. That's understandable if you want to wait on that, dude. I don't wanna...
wait. No, I think I miscounted. 5 over. Hold on. Where am I sitting here?
We were trying to speed this show up, and now we're just doing
1,
math.
2, 3,
And
4.
that's
Oh,
dangerous.
no. Okay. I was off by 1. I was.
Which
looking
one
at
were
this
you?
one. I don't even
Which
know
one's
if
that
you... This
I don't
is
think
a
I've seen that
brand
guy
new small craft distillery. No, I haven't talked to you about it.
Okay,
I had
well, what
it
is that guy?
in a sample. It's made in I think it's Ponfeig is what I think.
Ponfeig.
Ponfeigh. It's in Somerset, Pennsylvania. So it's a small craft distillery. I had a small sample of it, that monthly thing that I subscribed to. Loved it. So I bought a bottle. It just showed up.
Okay.
But I was off by 1. don't know if you can even hear me because I'm backwards
Ooh.
now. Not
I
facing
would
the
like to
mic.
point out that Pomfey likes to call themselves Western Pennsylvania's roots as the birthplace of American whiskey.
I know.
Bold, Pomfey. Bold.
Bold take. But yes. So now I'll talk about that when I get there.
Wait, is
All
it
right.
the bourbon or the rye?
The Pomfey? The rye.
Okay, I was about to say, 'cause on their website, they literally, their page just open is like, hey, we have rye.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's the rye. That's what I had a sample of, and I loved it. It won.
Sure.
So I look forward to having you try that one and see what you think. It was really good.
Yeah.
But let's start with edge rushers. Okay?
Dude, no, wait, real quick for
boy.
Pomfey, which we're not doing that yet. They have a gin in rye barrels. They have a rum in oak barrels. And it looks like they do just ryes otherwise. This is like a rye house.
Yes.
Add it to the list. We got to go visit.
Yep. That's why
All
I was saying, okay, we're seeing how we're on the tangent. It's going to be the longest episode of all time. We're going to go faster on defense. I'm just going to name the my guys and bust because we still got to do our teams.
Well, you also
So we're not going to talk about them. If you want to know about the players,
more than
go
my
listen to
guys
our
on
episodes.
defense. So
Right. But anyways, what I wanted to say real quick is remember on the last episode when I was cracking a joke about maybe we should go to the draft?
Right.
Because I don't know how far Somerset is from Pittsburgh, but it can't be that far.
I'm mapping that out.
But just saying. It was a joke. But all right, my guy on edge rushers, dude, is denied Dennis Sutton. Yes, Zion Young was a contender here. But, dude, even Daniel Jeremiah just dropped his top 50, and he doesn't even have Sutton in there. So everybody, like, I can get him at 70 in the PFF simulator every time.
Right.
For Detroit. And it's insane. That's my guy. Go ahead. Who you got?
Look, my guy, I've been on him the whole season. Even though he's going to go in the first round most likely, I had to do it. I had to catch this Howell, man. He's one of two my guys that I've got when it comes to this.
Ooh, I have two
busts,
busts, not two my guys.
That's fine. We'll come back to that later on. But
I
realize he has. Look, I will agree. We've said this before. Howell has short arms. I understand. He is not the prototypical edge rusher. He is a 3-4 edge rusher, and so help me if a team that plays 4-3 tries to shove him into that role as an edge. He's not. He's not big enough. It's not his role. His role is as a just absolute rabid Wolverine coming off the edge. Should have been Wolverine, right? Coming off the edge and creating chaos as a guy with a slightly shorter stature and a 3-4. That's where he should be. Been on him the whole season. That's all. Who's your bust?
Same as yours. Almost convinced.
1, 2, 3.
Falk. Sorry.
Oh,
Can't do it. No, I couldn't hold it. I couldn't hold back.
Look, we could have done a couple busts. And I have a second bust as well, which I think is the same as yours. We'll get to that later.
Probably.
But man,
I almost had a second my guy. I almost put Aiden Hubbard in here because he almost is basically a UDFA on most of them, and I have a 5th round grade on him.
Sure. Yeah, you do like him better than other people. But yeah, Keldrick Falk, just all the potential in the world.
Sure.
Hasn't realized any of it.
Super traits guy.
Yeah. So he desperately needs to go to a team that isn't going to be dysfunctional, right? He needs to go to a team with a good infrastructure, with preferably a good edge rusher already he can learn from. Like, ideal situation for him, which isn't going to happen because he's going to be drafted before this, go to San Francisco, where he might have both Bosa brothers to learn from. If they pick up.
Did Joey sign there?
Not yet. That's just the rumors are all saying that, right? But that's what I say might.
Like, I missed that. I'm way out on that.
But if both of them are there and he's learning from them, sure, that's a great fit for him.
And he's going to get to play because they'll both probably go down.
Will get hurt. But if he goes to a team where they want him to start day one and be number one,
don't forget
edge
they have
rusher
Michael too.
Right. But yeah, but Michael gets hurt
another
too.
bust.
Right. Bunch of guys get hurt.
They take San Fran. They all bust defensive team with the exception of superstar Fred Warner.
Right. Yeah. Fred Warner's looking around like, what are we doing here, guys?
Oh, and I love Mustafa too. But anyways, all right, let's get to D-line. My guy.
This was tough.
This was easy. I actually have two my guys on this. I'll table the one for the end. I have Grayson Halton, slam dunk. Right. Everybody knew it. You already knew it.
Yeah. Piece of cake. You've been talking about him forever, man.
Yep.
I will tell you this. I have come around Grayson Halton as well because of you. And I still think everyone else has come around him too. Like, I remember he was in the 200s at one point on PFF's list, right? Which, again, I understand some of those guys don't update things as quickly, maybe, as we do when we're going through the season. But you lashed on him early. He is now in the 3rd round conversation for a lot of people, even if you'd take him maybe at the top of the 2nd, whatever. My guy is someone who's been
I have a 2nd round grade on him, but he'll probably end up my top 32. That's crazy,
sure.
But whatever.
Yeah. Look, you love who you love, man. You can't just fault
Yep.
yourself for that.
Just
Skylar
calling
Gill
it.
Howard is my guy, and I
Oh boy,
understand
he
he
should
was
be.
hurt for part of
Sorry, that
this
was
year.
me slapping my forehead. Everybody.
Yeah, people see that. Remember, this is video now. People can see that stuff.
Oh,
And
man.
but Gil Howard is underrated by a lot of people, in my opinion. He is an undersized guy, so he's definitely a smaller defensive tackle. He's not one of these big space eaters, but he has a lot of heart, a lot of fire. Again, was great at Northern Illinois last year, and then this past season, so 2024, this past season started off hot and then got hurt at Texas Tech. I think he's going to come out and be a very solid piece for a team. Now, again, he is a guy that I see taking in the 4th round. So I'm not getting too out in
I have
front
a
of this.
6th round grade on him.
That's because you're rude. It's fine.
Yep.
Who's
Sure
your bust?
This was actually really, really tough. And this would be the 3rd bust so far where you could say I'm taking the easy road, but it's Caden McDonald. And here's the thing,
Right.
I actually really like Caden McDonald, but I just
Sure.
see him nothing more than a space eater, great run stuffer,
Right.
and that's fantastic. In the 2nd round, I'm
Right.
there for it all the time. So this is kind of contingent. If he ends up going in the 2nd round, then I'll just delete the bust. It doesn't count.
Sure, yeah.
He's basically only a bust because constantly I hear his name in the 1st round, and I'm
Mhm.
saying absolutely not.
Right. Yeah, again, you don't take a player that is
like
a 2-down
It's like
guy.
last year when we took the other Buckeye, Tyleek Williams.
Mhm.
My own hometown team took him. I was like, dude, if we would have taken him in the 2nd, I'm all about it. You took him in the 1st. You can't take just. I'm done. I'm done.
And there's value that isn't being realized. And now my bust, and we talked about him before. I literally just posted something about him as like our little hitter for the last episode, is like the first clip that's going out there. It's Caleb Banks. He could easily, I could be completely wrong about him. He is by far the biggest variance player, I think, in this entire draft, or certainly at least on the defensive line, because he could be amazing. He could also have foot problems and flame out, or just not take coaching and flame out. He absolutely needs a good infrastructure. We'll see whether or not that happens. Don't need to belabor the point. It'll be very interesting to see how that goes. Did you manage to find one linebacker for your my guy?
Nope, I found 4.
Yeah, I know. I was setting that up for a reason. Which one would you like to talk about now versus later?
That's what I'm trying to figure out, because I'm trying to figure out who the biggest my guy is. And I don't know if that should be the guy that is the highest ranked my guy, or the guy that
Who's number
was
one
on
in
the
your heart?
earliest, or the guy that I'm most different on than everybody else.
Who's number one in your heart? You need to talk about all of them real quick.
In my heart, it's Jacob Rodriguez, man.
Exactly, as it should be.
I've
Go
been
ahead, talk about him real quick.
and he might be right. He might be the one that I've been talking about the most. No, I don't. That's the thing. Like, I apologize for going in so much on the offensive guys. You can go listen to these episodes. I don't want everybody's ears to bleed. Like, I've talked about Jacob Rodriguez on every single show, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, the guy's a stud. I absolutely like him as the 7th overall player in this draft.
Sure.
Okay, and people are saying he's going to go in the 2nd round.
Finally, he was 3rd round for a long
10
time.
I know, but I am as a top 10 player. So, yeah,
Right.
That's all I need to say.
So again, he's another guy that, man, you just hope he's not a Packer.
Shoot.
You just hope he's not a Packer. Oh, you dropping another one? I see what that
I
is.
wasn't, but you were going to.
Well,
But
fair.
you
Look,
don't
dude,
know what it is.
I have an idea of what it is, but I don't know what it is. 'Cause I only saw the neck and the side of the bottle, so we'll see where that goes. And again, I'm drinking 2 beers. We joked about doing a double up, and we'll get to that take at the end of the show, which is going to be 5 hours long by the time we get done with this. Red Murdoch is my guy. I have been pumping him for as long as I can remember. And again, you talked about him as well. This season is just where I've really pushed him because, again, he didn't have Sean Dolak in there siphoning a bunch of tackles. He has been a tackle machine. He is a red dot middle linebacker, set it and forget it, with huge mitts, a guy who can just absorb stuff in the middle of the field. I'm not saying he's going to go out there and cover tight ends and slot receivers and craziness, all right? But you put him in the middle of your field, let him run your defense, you're going to be just fine. Red Murdoch. Who's your bust?
My bust is CJ Allen, man.
Rude.
If you went back a couple decades, I'd
Hater.
absolutely love this guy. I'm just not fully convinced in a passing league.
Mm-hmm.
He can be your guy. He can be linebacker 2. I don't think he can be your main linebacker because I don't feel great about the pass coverage.
No,
I've
the
said it a
irony is
lot.
usually the main linebacker is the one who's not doing the pass coverage as much. So maybe
That's fair.
linebacker.
But I'm
Yeah.
just saying, like, your superstar
You need
linebacker.
to
But
have
yeah.
so what you're saying is you better have an athletic guy to pair with him.
Yes.
Sure. And I understand that. I just don't think he's going to be a bust. I don't know if he's going to be a first round is
Well,
pushing it for me with him.
but here's the thing, Dan. All right. I'll just explain
Uh-oh.
myself. I won't list all the names. I already said I have 4 my guy linebackers. So
Sure.
if it has to be somebody going in the top 100, I'm kind of sort of running out of names to pick for
You
bust.
do love
So
this linebacker class.
I guess this would be my 4th semi-cheating one. It was, I had to pick somebody that goes in there, and he was basically the only name left. He was my only option to pick.
Yeah, it's a challenge, dude. Oh, I will tell you this. I actually cheated a bit on my bust. He's not technically, he's right on the cusp of the 100 marker, right? And it's Kyle Lewis because people have been saying he's a undersized linebacker, he's a big safety, but you and I both watched his combine and he doesn't, I mean, again, he can jump. Dude, almost
Doesn't
40
look
inches,
like safety
right?
to me.
But he doesn't look like safety. He looks like a linebacker who needs an extra 15 pounds. And that's unfortunate in today's day and age, right? And unlike Ivan Pace, who we both loved, even though he was a smaller guy too, and just seemed to have the instincts, Kyle Lewis looks like an athlete that isn't quite athletic enough to do what you need him to do in the NFL. Like he's the epitome of a tweener, and as much as I like tweeners in some cases, he's like the opposite end of the tweener spectrum from what I usually like. Right? He's a little too short, he's a little too thin, he's a little too slow, he's just a little bit too not quite right for me. That's why he's a bust right now. Corners.
Cornerback, my guy. I'll be honest, this was the hardest one for me because I don't have a true definition of a my guy or a bust, but I do have a guy that became a my guy. I was just later to him than a lot of the other my guys. But D'Angelo Ponce, I really like this guy. I don't care if he's
He just
he's
torched
tiny.
it yesterday.
He's the pound for pound toughest guy in this draft. I know it.
Yep. Agreed. And again, he's
Absolutely
another
love
guy. If he had 2 inches on him, he'd be CB1 just about, or darn near.
Oh, is he your my guy too?
He's not. I
okay.
really appreciate him. I appreciate everything about him.
Gotcha.
Mansour Delane has to be my guy, as much as he is a lot of people's 1 or 2.
That's fair. You were on him
I
early.
was talking to him at the end of last year. Like I liked him even when people were saying he was going to be a 3rd round pick last year as a value. And then he came out this year and absolutely freaking killed it across the board. And again, the fact that Jermod McCoy didn't do anything until his pro day helped solidify Mansour Delane at the top of this class. But again, he is maybe not as long as you'd like him to be. I will say that. You'd love for a guy to be 6'1", 6'2", to have more than 30-inch arms. I do understand that. However, he locked down pretty much everybody he came across. And he was fast enough to keep up with all the guys that LSU has. So I'm not worried about the long speed. Not worried about the quick speed. Maybe he's going to lose a contested catch here or there. Overall, no complaints with him. Who's your bust?
I know you said you didn't think that he qualified as a bust, but I caught up with one of the first take episodes. And dude, Mel Kiper is going bananas about this guy and thinking that he's got him. It sound like the way he talked about him, like he's a lock for the 2nd round. So I have him as cornerback 15, and you're gonna get pissed, Dan. It's Chandler Rivers.
I'm not gonna get pissed. I'm just gonna be happy when you're wrong.
Let's do a bet.
I like how you're ripping the little guys.
How are we ever gonna remember this? What are you talking about? I just made a little guy my guy. And D'Angelo Ponce.
I know. You're focusing on the little guys.
No, I'm focusing on the fact that he allowed 70% of the passes thrown his way completed.
Yeah, hater.
And he played at Duke.
Hater. You really hate
Who's
Duke,
your
though.
boss?
There's literally a quote about that. I clipped out the bit where we were ripping Duke last program. We're not going to do it 2 episodes in a row, but it's great fun. Look, I like Chandler Rivers. I think he's going to be just fine as a slot corner. D'Angelo Ponce, I think, can play anywhere. Now, whether any should isn't the question, but I feel like he thinks he can play anywhere.
I'm convinced D'Angelo Ponce can play D tackle.
Yeah, I tell you what, you line him up there. I'd love to shoot him up the A gap, see what happens, right? Chandler Rivers will be better than you think he is. My bust is a guy that I just don't see it with, and I understand you like him better than I do, and I should like him. He's 6'2".
Oh, no.
He's 190.
I know who you're talking about.
He's got the arms. He's not that slow.
He's all the way down to cornerback 13 for me. So, no, I got a 4th round grade on him.
27 for me.
Yeah, I got let's do that bet. Him versus
Davison
Rivers.
Igbinosun. I will take Chandler Rivers versus
Wow.
Igbenogson. Sounds good.
The only dumb part is if I didn't take Rivers as a bust, I'm probably taking Igbenogson as a bust. So I don't really
Whoops.
want to do that bet because
All right, we'll come up with something else.
his tape the previous year was really bad, very handsy.
We can do Delane versus Pons. I like both of them. That'll be a decent bet.
Oh gosh, you would win that bet.
I know. That's why I want to do it. But again,
we'll figure that out.
Has potential.
Oh, sorry.
Look, Igbenogson has potential, but he better not be your number one. That's all I'm saying.
Number one what? Oh,
like
corner.
your number one corner for a team.
Yeah, no shot.
Like if
I don't
he's
even
a
think he can be your number
or
two.
Yeah,
he has to be three.
And he's another guy who has, because of his size, at 6'2" and an eighth and 190, maybe you put 15 pounds on him and play him as safety. Maybe he's better suited to that. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Speaking of safeties, who's your my guy?
Quickest my guy of the whole damn thing. He's my number 2 player on the board, Dylan Thieneman. I don't need to even say anything else.
Right. Don't need to elaborate. Bishop Fitzgerald is mine.
Not number 2 safety. I'm talking number two overall player.
And you remember what I told you yesterday? Remember when I saw someone mocking him to the Bears?
I like that because that just means it's not going to happen.
Right. And honestly, that is if he is somehow on the board at 25, which I don't think he will be. I do believe he'll be gone by 25 with the way that the chatter's going.
He's going 17.
But if he is, if he is somehow, that'd be great too. Look, I just want you guys to know, now that we're doing more video stuff, I will have a camera of a phone variety on JP when Detroit is drafting. I may have it for every player, but when Detroit is drafting and when the Bears are drafting, because I just want to see the joy of victory and the agony of defeat that's going to be on JP's face when that stuff happens. But Bishop Fitzgerald is my safety. I don't think he's more than a late 3rd round, 4th round pick, but I like him better than anybody else does. I think he is a very solid player that people are doing dirty. When you look at some of the ratings services, if you will, like he isn't even in the top 170 for Tankathon. And if I pull up mock draft database real quick, like they have got Bishop Fitzgerald at 231. This is a guy that I like a lot better than a 7th round pick.
Really? Oh, I like him way more than Jesus. He's basically a de facto my guy then too. I have him 4th round grade. He's my number 9 safety in a super stacked safety class.
People are not. I mean, I got him at 6, so I got him higher than you do. So that's why I'm claiming him. But my point is, like, this is a better player than people are giving him credit for. Maybe he doesn't do anything at an elite level. I think he's a very solid player. Who's your bust?
The other guy on the same team.
Rude, by the way, because I like him
Kamari Ramsey. I have his safety 18 out of 19. I have a 7th round grade on him. I'm just not there. I'm not there. PFF loves him. The NFL loves him. Dan loves him. I don't know what. I don't see
He
it.
can jump. You're rude.
Yep.
All right, here's mine. And this is partially because of where he's
we all know who yours is because he doesn't tackle.
The man with Neil Warren.
Yeah.
EMW. He might be
We all knew
good.
that.
If you took him in the 3rd round, I'd feel fine-ish, right? But he's going to be a 1st round draft pick, and I think that's because people saw Quinion Mitchell played at Toledo, so let's grab this guy. He has the size. Again, maybe I should like him, right? But he just olays everything unless it is behind the line of scrimmage. He will dart on a screen to get someone behind the line of scrimmage. That is the only effort play I saw out of him the entire season when I watched this footage. Personal preference. Give me your 6-pack. We'll go 1 for 1.
Well, you got to hold on. Somehow I apparently have lost one.
Rude. Why would you do that to yourself? As in you lost one of your extra my guys? Or busts?
No, it's only showing. Oh, I see.
Push the wrong button?
No, I just didn't put the tag next to one of them.
Okay, gotcha.
So you do yours, and I got to refilter my list. You go first.
I've got a pair of my guys in the wide receiver room. One of those is Jeremy Bernard. Again, talk about the jumping, 32.5. Not what Skylar Bell can do jumping-wise, but he is a gadget player that at 6'1.25", I like what he can do. I like how he can move around. I like how he can find ways to get the football in his hands. Sure, he's not going to jump out of the building. Everything else about him, very solid across the board. The other one is Zachariah Branch, who we've talked about before, runs like he hates everything around him. Just there's so much anger in the best way.
I like Zachariah Branch a lot.
And he's way too small. He is way too small to be a wide receiver at the NFL level at 5'8" and 5'8" and 177 pounds and 9-inch hands. but 4.35 speed and just the anger that comes with him. I would love to have him as a third, fourth wide receiver on my team. Give me a couple of years.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to go through all 6.
No, I don't have them listed. I got to switch through positions.
I'm just going to go with like my highest ranked 2, if you will. Number 1, he's the number 1 overall player on my board. So I'm going to get it out of the way. It's Sonny Styles.
Sure.
He's being projected as a top 10 lock. He's potentially a top 5 pick, but I've been pounding the table all this year, all last year for this guy. When he was playing next to Simon, I was like, dude, I like Simon, but the guy next to him is even better. But I just been all over him. Absolutely love him. Number 1 player. It takes a lot to be above Thieneman in this class, but Styles is his unicorn of the position, so I got him. Another one that's an easy layup. Everybody who listened to the last episode we did where we did D linemen, yep, my top 2 D linemen are nowhere near anyone else's top 2. As it was Grayson Halton made him my guy, obviously. But Chris McClellan is another one. So really, I'm really laying it out there for the 2D tackles. And the thing is I have second round grades on both of them, so it's not going to be all that crazy if I get them wrong. I just think they're the best 2 in this class.
Well, right. Now, I would like to point out I have an extra bust when it comes to the defensive line. And this might blow up my face, but it's Big Citrus, man.
Oh.
I said it.
Whoa. You said that I was rude for putting him down there.
I don't know when I did that because I disagreed with
on the
myself
last episode. I said my bottom 2 D linemen I had ranked were
Big
Citrus and Dante Corleone.
Where do you have Citrus?
I do.
Like I've got
second
him at 13.
to last.
You've got him at what, 25? 24?
Whatever second to last is. I forget the
I
number.
think it's 24
tackles. Sure. Oh, then he's 23.
All right, well then
if the number's 24, he's 23.
So, no, number's 25. So I think you have 24.
Oh, you know
Point
what?
is, we could both put him down as a bust then, because again, this is a guy who you talk about the weight thing that you had with Caden Proctor. Supposedly, he hit 400 in high school at one point, and trimmed. And to his credit, trimmed back down to like 330.
I have him at 24, and then Dante
I got him at 13.
25.
So Dominique Orange, which I want to say that way, even though it's orange, right? Big Citrus. People freaking love this guy. I'm concerned. He is a space eater. He is a nose tackle, right? But not many teams play a zero technique heads up center in the NFL. Even teams that are 3-4 still shade a bit. So I don't know that he's going to find his niche in the NFL the way he needs to. Also, didn't have a ton of production because of how they're having him move around. So overall, I'm out on him personally. Don't feel it. Now, edge rusher, I got another one, and this is a my guy, and this is your fault for him being a my guy, and also because I'm a Michigan fan. You've talked about it. Derek Moore. With the numbers that he has. And the funny thing is, people are actually pumping Jay-Sean Barnum right now over Derek Moore, it feels like, when it comes to where people are putting their time and effort when it comes to potential steals and things like that. And I think Barnum's going to be fine as a converted like edge slash outside linebacker. Derek Moore, you pointed this out. Does he have an over 10% on the poop ratio? Or is it really freaking close to that? Because he had... In a limited number of pass rush snaps, let's be honest, he didn't have Ruben Bain level pass rush snaps. He had a very solid number of conversions within those pass rush snaps. When you look at how that breaks down between the sacks versus hits versus hurries, and hurries are something that we sort of just wave away.
The poop ratio is 8.12,
which is still really good.
It's really
not David Bailey,
David Bailey's at 10.
Right.
Arvell Reese, albeit significantly less snaps,
in 100
with the 11.76.
Right.
But if you're looking for some names to compare, okay, here's just to give you an idea. The 2 names that have been skyrocketing lately, Malachi Lawrence, right?
Right. People are nuts by him. First round buzz for him.
3.95.
Whoops.
TJ Parker, who's starting to get some love again, 5.25. Derek Moore, the whole time chilling it at 8.12.
From last year, mind you. TJ Parker probably had better numbers in 2024. But yeah. While we're at it, can I give you a bust in the D line as well? Or the edge rusher category as well?
You can, but I got a feeling I think it's a double up.
You want 1, 2, 3, Ruben Bain.
Ruben.
Yeah. And again, no disrespect. You should be a second rounder and you're going to get picked in the top 10.
Well, hey, I Whew, I'm not, I got a 3rd-round grade on him, man.
Right.
Which means he should get picked in the 2nd round to me. I'm sorry.
Sure.
Go back and listen to all the episodes about him. Not going to get into it
And
again.
again,
So
we
that
talked
gets rid
about
of
the
3
irony.
of mine. Did you do
Right.
all your 6 of yours now?
No, I've still got 2 more. But we talked about the irony of Ruben Bain being the best fit for him might be Detroit, which would be hilarious if that happened.
Yeah.
He'll be gone before then, so you don't have to worry about it.
And I wouldn't be honest, or I wouldn't be. I'll be honest. I wouldn't be like pissed. It wouldn't be what I
Sure.
would do. But I'd be like, okay, well, yeah, I had a bust on him, but that is perfect. That's perfect. So here we go. But all right,
Right, exactly.
So it's my turn
Go ahead.
to do one. All right, I'm just gonna
do
get
as many
one
as you like. I think I've got one or two more to get through.
I only have 3 more, so then it'll get us 2 and 2. But Red Murdoch, you already talked about him.
Right.
He made my bonus 6-pack for a my guy. He's not a bust. He's a my guy. Been on, as you said, been on him for a couple years now. So get that out of the way, and I'll save the last 2.
All right. So my last 2, I think I gotta see if I got extras in here. So I've got an extra 2. Yes. Okay. Good. Just making sure I'm doing numbers right in my head. I have got one of my guys, or rather one of my busts, rather is Traydon Stukes. Love the speed. Don't mind the size. Not sure if he's going to be a safety or a corner.
Safety.
But he's 25.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a bust purely for the fact that he's going to get overdrafted and deliver one contract.
Yep.
And that's my rationale for that. I have zero disrespect for him as a player because I love the speed. I don't mind the size. But if you're a team that's contending, right? If you're a team,
he's kind of like Keontae Scott
now
at corner for Miami. Almost the same thing.
Yeah. If you are contending right now, pick him up, use him for his rookie contract. Don't extend him. And he's not going to be a first-round guy anyway, so he's going to have 4 years. He's going to be 29 when you're trying to give him a second contract. He's going to want a 4-year deal. You're not going to want to give him more than 2. Let him float. And that's the unfortunate reality of the NFL. I think he is very useful for a short period of time, but that's just not long-term what's going to work for him. My guy, real quick, it's Jacob Rodriguez, just because. He's Rodrigo 2.0. Freaking love him. Moving on.
You got him in there?
I had to. No disrespect, but he is my favorite linebacker. Favorite.
Yeah.
Sonny Styles is better. Too. Right? I love Red Murdoch. But Jacob Rodriguez and I would love to double date with Jacob Rodriguez and his wife with me and mine now. I think that would be so much fun.
You'd have to grow a mustache. No, you wouldn't, because he puts you to shame.
I would shave the beard if I got to hang out with Rodriguez. My wife would not be happy about this, but I would shave the beard for a day if I got to hang out with Rodriguez and his wife, and then I'd grow it back.
There you go. All right, last 2, because you're done now, right?
Yep.
All right, the last one is another my guy. My bonus ones, I did 5 my guys. The only bust I did was Ruben Bain. So the other my guy, another linebacker, is I pretty much, led you to believe so. Jake Goldday. And I'll be honest, I almost picked Anthony Hill Jr. I almost did.
Which fair. He was close to being a my guy as well.
Anthony Hill was? Or Jake Goldday? Or both?
Anthony Hill. I like Goldday too. Both of them were. I didn't want to do 4 guys in one position group. We both love the linebacker class this year.
Yep, linebackers and the safeties. So Jake Goldday, he was the other one. And then I saved this guy for last, specifically because I think everywhere I look, he's just given a UDFA tag. And I have got like a late second, maybe early 3rd round grade on him for now. And I'm going to have to go back and watch the tape again and make sure I'm just not completely insane, because nobody on planet Earth has done it. Right. It's Jalen Husky, man. I've been on Jalen Husky, the safety from Maryland, this whole entire year.
You have pounded the table for him. Like there is an indent in the
I'm
table.
either going to look like a genius or a complete idiot with him.
Which is what the fun part is. And we'll come back to this, in 2028 or so.
Yeah, he's just the guy. Like, you know what it makes me feel like? It feels like he's just going to be one of those guys that'll always be like, dude, he could have been. And just for whatever reason, I just don't think anybody's ever going to give him like a shot.
And that's the challenge. When you come in a late round draft pick, is like, are you giving a shot or not?
He's got to go earn it now and see if he can do it.
Which is good. Because again, I want to go back to the absolute like greatest late round earn it thing from our association CMU, Antonio Brown, before he went batshit crazy, was the prove it guy. Like, he came out a year early, but because he came out a year early, he was drafted in like the 5th or 6th round and had to prove himself with Pittsburgh. Worked out great for him until he went crazy, right? Pittsburgh at least went great. All right. This has been a long episode.
Let's go. It has.
So I'm going to give everyone a heads up. Again, like I've said before, we're going to timestamp this so you can just jump to the end if you want to. Let's rip through our teams. No, we don't need
just
to rip
head
through.
to head.
We're not going to rip through. We still need to point out here and there because there's some names that we didn't talk about today so far that we'll have to mention briefly. But this is you picked, then I picked. We did a snake draft. So these weren't necessarily picks in order of how they'd be picked in the NFL draft. This is me messing with JP a bit here and there. But still, these are the guys that we would pick if we had to pick today and pick a starting lineup to go heads up against each other.
Yeah, and I'll start it off. We'll just go position by position here. To give you a perfect example, at quarterback.
You could have chosen to pick second. You chose to pick first.
I chose to pick first because I wanted to go the quarterback in this because it's a weak quarterback class and I wanted to get the top guy. So just to give you an example of the reason that it doesn't go, like it's crazy. I took Mendoza 1, therefore Dan basically just didn't take a QB.
That was my last pick.
I can't take a second QB, so he has no rush to do it. That'd be silly to take one. So I'll let you say your team. I'll say mine. Let's go back. But we'll just say what round you took him in, and if there wasn't a round, you just say it blank.
Right.
So I took Mendoza 1.
Yeah. Ty Simpson dead last. There you go.
So then I didn't draft.
Flip-flop. Running back. I took Jeremiah Love with the second pick because the two position groups that we feel like are the shallowest, if you will, in this class is quarterback, running back. So we knew whoever's taking Love or whoever's taking Mendoza 1, Love would be 2. So Love was 2 for me.
Yep, and I took Mike Washington Jr.
Because you love him and because fair, no doubt there. Where it's interesting,
wide receivers.
Now we picked these guys with numbers, right? I think I made the first wide receiver pick and the second wide receiver pick. I took Carnell Tate and Denzel Boston before you took a wide receiver.
Yeah, but just say the numbers. So you took Carnell Tate at 14, Denzel Boston at 19, Omar Cooper Jr. at 13. Right? And then I came back. I took Mekhi Lemon at 25. I was pissed that I got stuck taking Jordan Tyson. If he stays healthy, I'm going to be a genius, though, at 28. Right. And then everybody knew I was going to take Skylar Bell.
And I took and I took Omar Cooper Jr., which again we talked about how Elijah Surratt was my guy for me, and
that shocked me.
And
I
Branch was my guy. I almost took Branch. I do think that the ceiling is higher for Cooper in the NFL, even if I like Branch better. So this was me picking a team, not picking the guys that I want. Right? Exactly. So I think I have a better wide receiver group. You could if Tyson stays healthy.
Yeah, I would say you do too. But if Simpson stays healthy and Lemon's not, tiny hands concerned, then I could easily win this one. We'll see.
Fair. Yeah. Tight end.
Safe to say I'm very likely going to win quarterback and you're very likely going to win running back. But all right, tight end.
I win tight end.
Yeah, well, I literally said in this episode I was back and forth the whole year, but I agree. You win tight end. You get Kenyon Sadiq at 11, and I just de facto took Max Clare.
Right, and again, that's the point we remind people. We're doing like 31 personnel. What are we going to say? 3 wide receivers, 1 running back, 1 tight end. So we're not doing 3 tight end type sets. This is more of a standardized sort of thing. Offensive line is where it gets fun.
It does get fun. I'm gonna rip through my whole thing real quick. I didn't. I won't. I'm not gonna explain how it ended up being, but I didn't have to spend a tackle pick here for Caleb Lomu. He was a freebie because you filled both your tackles first. So Caleb Lomu freebie. 16. I took Vega Aone. I think that's how you say it. I always mess it up. In 9, I took Spencer Fano for my center. And then you knew I was going to take Bo Stevens with the 24th pick. And then my number 2 tackle in the whole class, so I was very stoked to get him, was Blake Miller at 21.
Right. And you grabbed him right before I took my second tackle. So I took Mauinoa at 10, and then I took Monroe Freeling at 22. We took Dunker at 23 to be a guard, and then Pregnan and Logan Jones. So you might have the edge on the inside, but man, I feel like the offensive line is a bit of a wash, all things considered.
I
know it's because you love Fano and Stevens.
The inside, I win for sure. I have the 2 best, arguably, offensive linemen in the draft in Vega and Spencer. But the tackles, I will call a wash. But I mean, I like to say,
Well, look, this is where it gets fun because we're
pretty
not going to
even.
do it now. We did
Yeah,
a little
3 years from now.
offline thing. A little offline thing we debated 3 years ago. We'll do
But
that in
that'll be
another
an
episode in the
off-season.
summer.
That's
In the summer, we'll
summer,
talk about that. We'll break it down. But point is, we'll know in 3 years. All right. Now, edge rusher is where I jumped on this because I took Jeremiah Love at 2, and then I had the snake. So at 3, I took David Bailey because I knew you would take David Bailey with one of the next 2 picks if you had the opportunity.
Yes, 100% I would. Either one of those 2 I would have taken with the next 2 picks.
Right.
So you made the correct 2 picks. Well, actually, that'd have been crazy if you took 2 other players and didn't get like Dylan Thieneman.
Good
if I had all
Lord.
3 of them there, I'd have like tilt mode.
Yep.
But anyways, edge rusher at 12, I took Arvell Reese, and then at 32, I took Denai Dennis Sutton.
Right. And the reason why I waited, so again, this is all strategery, right? I waited on the other edge rusher because I knew you were going to take Cassius Howell, and I felt fine taking Howell. So that was easy.
I knew you were going to do that, which is why I waited till 32 to take Denai Dennis Sutton, because I knew you weren't taking him because you're taking Cassius Howell.
Exactly. And I also knew who you loved at interior D-line. And so I knew I could wait on that because none of us felt great about any of it. But then I had some fun. Because at 26, I took Peter Woods, and then I smiled as I texted you. 27, I took Grayson Halton. I
had a feeling you were going to take him. I'd been thinking about him for a while, but there were still so many other players that I knew I had to get first.
Right.
And I knew part of it was, he's my D tackle 1 in this class. But at the same time, I'm not high on this D tackle class. So if I was going to lose one of my guys, I was fine with it.
No, you wanted Halton, though. If you had a choice, we'd Halton.
Oh, I absolutely wanted
Halton.
100%.
Which is why I took him.
But I de facto still got Chris McClellan, and I went with Christian Miller as the other one.
Right, who we didn't talk about much today. Again, with Peter Woods as well. Those are 2 guys that'll probably go first, second round. That'll be perfectly solid D tackles. But again, overall, not a transcendent D tackle class like we talked about last show. All right, linebacker. Oh, you went hard on a linebacker early.
I went hard early because I knew I had it was dumb because I just listed off 5 my guy linebackers and they were only drafting 4. So it was stupid, but I knew I had to get Sonny Styles and Jacob Rodriguez. So I took Styles 4, Rodriguez 8.
Look, we both knew if you didn't take Sonny Styles, I would have taken him next. I almost took Styles and Bailey and left you Love and said screw it at running back. I came very close to doing that. Because Sonny Styles...
I see it.
People talk about Arvell Reese being an alien. Sonny Styles is an alien. He is built to play football in this like time period. And I hope that he gets taken by a team that appreciates him. You know, I know he's not going to be a Packer. Let's don't have to worry about that. But still,
oh jeez, don't try to speak that reverse psychology into existence.
I guess unless Green Bay trades up to 5 or whatever, it's not going to happen.
Did you say your linebackers already?
C.J. Allen and Anthony Hill Jr. So, again, C.J. Allen at 31. You didn't appreciate. Right. Yeah. So, and don't get me wrong, I was trying to find a way to get Red Murdoch in there too, but it didn't quite fit.
So, cornerback, I could have had a blessing in disguise because I kid you not, we did this the day before the Tennessee Pro Day. I kind of de facto-ish, even though I spent the 13th pick, he still would have probably gone higher than 13 had we had the Pro Day. So I probably got him at a value. But I got Jermod McCoy with the 13th pick. Then the other corner, I just de facto got Avion Terrell. Right. And then we'll do the nickelbacks with the safeties.
Well, I mean, you knew I had to take Mansour Delane, so I took him without a doubt. That was always going to be the case. There was never going to be a situation where that wasn't the case. And then because you took Jermod McCoy, I decided to jump on Chris Johnson, who both of us do like quite a bit.
He's my CB3.
Right, exactly.
So technically,
I had no
you win corners.
Oh, yeah.
To me.
Yeah, I definitely win corners. You had to take Avion Terrell. I won corners. You didn't want to take him. So
no. And
Nickelback is a debate. You like both of these guys.
I do, but I win because I got my number 2 overall player in the draft, and I took it in Dylan Thieneman, number 5. Had to do it. He's Nickelback.
And we went 2 different directions with Nickelback. You took Dylan Thieneman. I took D'Angelo Ponce.
I took the safety. You took the corner.
Right, exactly. And I got D'Angelo Ponce, so I feel like I win anyways. All right, safety is where it's fun because I took Caleb Downs, who we both knew would be an early pick anyways.
Yes.
But you got 2 guys that I like as well.
Yep. 17, I took A.J. Halsey, and 20, I got Bud Clark. Absolutely love it. And then your other safety, you got...
Yeah, you snuck Clark.
Blood Clark.
Right?
That's got a ring to it.
Clark, yeah. You snuck Bud right underneath me, and I ended up with Jalen Kilgore because I needed to take a safety till later. And I like Kilgore as a safety. Don't get me wrong; he's kind of one of those tweener guys as well.
And
But
I was surprised that I would thought for a minute you were going to take Kilgore, but I thought he was going to be in your nickelback, and then but Pons, I get it.
right. So again, we've got some versatility in the back end, and this is why we make these picks. These aren't necessarily the 44 guys we feel like will be the 44 top picks of the
No,
draft, right? But these are the
golly, no.
players that we think would fit well on a team. So again, you win quarterback, I win running back. Wide receiver is a bit of a toss up. I think I got tight end. I got a little edge of tackle. You got the edge of the inside. Edge rusher is a wash in my opinion. Interior.
Only reason I say edge rusher isn't is because I absolutely loved Deniden Sutton. He's
Yeah,
my
I know
number
you do.
3, and people think Reese is like the best player in the draft, and I'm not high on.
But that's my
Cassius
point.
Howell, so
But Dave Bailey's amazing, and therefore
don't
it's a wash.
disagree.
D line is probably
No, you win. No, you win D line. I think
by a
I
little bit,
win
but not
edge
much.
rusher, and I think you win D line.
Okay, linebacker you win. Not even gonna try to debate that. Corner I win.
Yeah, that's over.
Nickel
I win.
I'll let you win, but that's a debate. And safety.
I still
is
think I win safety too, only
a
because
bit of a debate.
Kilgore is. It's just the Kilgore thing. Like
Yeah,
he's got such a high ceiling, low floor type thing.
Uh-huh.
No, I like him too.
You got a low floor. All right, so we'll find all that out in 3 years, right? This is why we
Yep.
keep the stuff on a spreadsheet and have it documented in a podcast so people can get in there. We took way too long, but again, if you stayed the whole way, we appreciate you. If you didn't, we're not going to be offended. But the fun part is, dude, think about what we got coming up, right?
Whoa, we hit the brakes, fella.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
like,
we got
the whole
we got stuff to talk
time
about,
I
don't we?
wanted to know about the double Nazareth, the Nazareth.
And again, it's the Nazareth, right? So I did the
So which
coming
one
Nazareth,
won?
pulled in Nazareth. The pulled actually won for me because the double just felt a little
Which
bit
one? Oh, okay. So you agreed with me.
right, because the double they're both great. Like I like both of
Fantastic.
them. I agree with you. But the double just didn't have the edge to it, right? And I prefer a drink with an edge. Some people
Mhm.
don't. Some
I do
people
too.
like a soft round drink, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's just palate, right? But I prefer a drink with a little bit of bite, and there was bite in the pulled into Nazareth, and there was not much of it in the double.
Totally agree.
still
And
good.
I think Pulled
drink-
into Nazareth is probably my favorite waxwing beer. Oh
Fair.
man,
I would drink either of them.
I
Ooh.
still said that one time I need to have the Pulled into Nazareth head to head with like the Pursued, whichever
Oh,
one.
right.
I got to have those two head to head for which one's better. And then what was it, the Nereids one or whatever? Those
No,
are really
Nereids,
good.
yeah, yeah. So there's a lot of stuff we'll do a flight at Waxwing sometime. We'll do a show at Waxwing sometime. We'll get that
There we go.
sorted out. What were you drinking to wrap up the
I
night?
grabbed the fifth one from the left shoulder. Your little game there.
Right.
It's a Sagamore Spirit Rye. So the Maryland.
Oh, you got the rye, not the
juice.
10. Okay.
Yeah, and you know what? What's crazy about this one? First of all, I love it. It's smooth. It's got the bite too. It's
Mhm.
crazy. It's one of the most unique things I've ever tasted as far as whiskey goes because it's a
Right.
rye, so it has the
Mhm.
spice, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's double oaked.
Ooh, that's fun.
It's a
Proper
double
double
oaked
double
rye.
oaked?
Yes,
Like a proper double oaked.
yes.
Okay.
So it just takes you still have the spiciness, but then somehow you
Mhm.
get this like sweet, like chocolatey, like oak vibe in there too. It's like spiced chocolate.
I'm on board.
Yeah, delicious.
Well, I
stuff.
will
Give
bring
it a go.
when we hang out for the draft. I mean, I've got a bunch of beverages to bring you anyways. A bunch of bourbon I still have to get you the tab for. But then I will bring the Georgia rye. You bring the Sagamore rye. We'll see how they compare.
Well, I can. I was planning on bringing that Pomfret.
Yeah, bring that too. I'm fine with that. Again, we might as well celebrate West Philadelphia. West.
I figured I
Pennsylvania.
needed to bring something from it, so the draft's at, and it's
I will
fantastic.
tell you, it's not on the way to Pittsburgh. For us, it's past Pittsburgh, so we probably won't make that happen. If
Yeah.
it was on the way to Pittsburgh, that would severely increase the opportunity, the percentage of us going to the draft
Yes.
live, so we could stop off. But it's past it. It would take more time. We have to double back. It might be too much work for this particular trip. But like we're saying, we've got mock drafts coming up. We got the 1 round. We've got the 2 round. We've got the top 100 players. We've got our final individual mocks. All of that leading into the NFL draft only weeks away.
So
with draft grab.
what you're saying? You always try to cut me off. It's already
I
the
do.
longest episode. Let's just keep it rolling, dude. All nighter.
All right. One
So
more
what
time.
you're saying? 5 more episodes, and then it's the draft.
And then it's the draft, which will just be from Brad's garage again, most likely. Which, again, because we're doing video now, I will bring a tripod and a camera, and you will see we are legitimately going to be in a garage. It's going to be great. We'll catch you next time with Draft Wrap.